Hey y'all, so today we're in our rustic street market bag. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Shy in Second Life, and on this channel we check out aesthetically pleasing places in the virtual world of Second Life. And I also sporadically do lifestyle vlogs. So if you're interested in content like this, go ahead and subscribe. So y'all, did I record this video yesterday? Absolutely. But when I tell y'all, this land was giving me problems. Look, this is a good old southern meal. Got some yams or sweet potatoes, some greens, and look like some catfish. The macaroni and cheese is giving a little questionable, but maybe it's just like super cheesy, you know. So we gonna let them live. So y'all, so I have been looking for like new shows on Netflix to watch because I've run out of options, and so I don't be knowing really what to watch, but I just be knowing that I be wanting to watch something. Hunting Wives, yeah, that show hit the spot. When I tell you, that was non-stop, like just drama. And you know, I wasn't mad at it. A lot of times when I watch shows, I don't really care about it being drama. I just want it to be interesting. This was interesting drama, and we love that. I'm telling y'all, binge-worthy, absolutely binge-worthy. It was maybe about like 8 to 10 episodes. When I tell y'all, sat and watched the whole season in a day. Now they only currently have one season out. They better have a season 2, because why would you not? But when I tell y'all, a really, really good watch. Now, initially, I definitely had some apprehension about it because I didn't really know what to expect. Now, when I went on TikTok, because TikTok is like my visual Google at this point, I had asked them, I love all the colors in this flower cart. I had just typed in, you know, binge-worthy shows on Netflix. And this was one of the shows that the people were saying like, oh, you should definitely watch. And so I was like, okay, cool. You know, I'll watch it. Now, initially for me, it did give like soap opera type vibes. That's just how it felt, like almost kind of like it was wanting to like mimic like a reality show type vibe, but it wasn't a reality show, of course. But once I kind of I'm talking the first episode, a little bit into the first episode, I was like, oh, okay, this is not what this is. Very, very interesting. When I tell you, I'm not going to do no spoilers because I definitely want y'all to go and watch it. It's people that's watching that has not seen it yet. It's definitely worth it. Another show that they were talking about was Blind Spot. Now for me, when it comes to shows like that, oh, I want to see what's going on this card over here. When it comes to shows like that, you know what? This land was really giving me like resin issues and stuff like that. I don't know if it's because it's like so much mesh here. I don't know. But it was taking a minute for things to resin. I'm not really used to that. I'm not used to that at all. See, so like the newspapers took a little bit of time. Let's see, is he resin in? Yeah, he's resin in. So with Blind Spot, people were raving about it. And I was like, okay, you know, let me check it out. For me, this is just me. When I watch shows, if I am able to figure out like if the show has like a quote unquote savior, you know, or somebody that always is the one that just gets the job done, for me that's a bit of a turn off for me. Not saying that it's necessarily like a bad thing, just for me personally, if I find that everything is kind of like revolved around one person getting the job done or a couple people getting the job done, it's not really interesting to me anymore, because it's like now I'm expecting that person or those people to just come in and save the day. And when it is constantly happening, episode after episode, it really turns me off. Look at these apples, y'all. So this looks like a Honey Crisp with like a Granny Smith perhaps, and then a Macintosh. Those look like mangoes in here as well. So y'all didn't know I was up on my apples, did you? Yeah, I do a little something when it comes to my knowledge of apples, you know. And so with Blind Spot, that's what I was noticing. I was noticing that there were like, it was like a reoccurring theme every episode, that it was like, okay, this is gonna be the savior. And so it just really turned me off from the show. So I have not watched it again. I think I watched like, I want to say like 8 episodes, but not even like 8 episodes all the way through. I actually like bounced around from like episode to episode, just kind of trying to see like what was going on. But once I caught on to the theme, like there are like interesting like plots that'll pop in and stuff like that. But for me, it was just like, I figured it out, and I didn't like that I figured it out. I like shows that have like a level of realistic or realism to it. And not saying that that show didn't, but it's like you can't always win. And so I think that's the reason why one of my favorite movies was Smile. I'm a horror buff. Not a horror buff, but I love horror movies. With Smile, the thing that I loved about all of the I think was it like 2 or 3 Smiles? I don't know. But the thing that I liked about that movie the most was that it wasn't a happy ending. Not that it couldn't have a happy ending, but it's just one of those things where it's like, realistically speaking, it wouldn't be a happy ending. If ain't nobody saying Smile, my apologies. But if you see it, I promise you'll forget about that. It's so much shit going on in there. And so I like stuff like that where it's just like, it's very realistic. If you're getting out of situations where it's like, ain't no way in the hell you should have got out of that situation, it's off-putting for me. It's like, okay, well, this is not really realistic. It's almost just like, okay, well, you want somebody to win, you want somebody to prevail, and that's cool and all, but realistically speaking, that's not always gonna happen. Yeah, things are rather slow. This cat look crazy. Okay, the cat look a little better now. So yeah, so I am no longer watching Blind Spot, which is kind of messed up because I don't like starting stuff like that and then not finishing it. But it was just one of those things where it's like, I knew I wasn't going to enjoy it the way that it was meant to be enjoyed. And so I'd rather just like bow out now as opposed to just like pushing myself through like multiple seasons. So I went back to the drawing board, back on the TikTok. You know what? It's bothering me that things are taking so long to res in. It has a lot to do with the amount of mesh that's on the land also. Plus, it's probably has something to do with my settings. I'm on the Firestorm viewer today because I just didn't feel like dealing with aperture, keeping it a trillion. But I still love aperture, but sometimes aperture be doing too much. So went back to the drawing board, like I was saying, with just binge-worthy shows. And so they were saying, Your Honor. Now, I am on like the 3rd or 4th episode of Your Honor. I don't really remember. I really like it. It's thick. You know what I'm saying? It's thick. It's one of those shows where it's like, it's good, but the context of it is heavy. Don't really have an issue with the fact that it's heavy, but it's just like one of those things where it's like, understand that this is the tempo and it's really not going to get lighter, because as the episodes go on, it's just the layers of the drama keep piling up, where it's like there is no there's no sense of relief in sight. And I know that the show is not meant to have that. And so I really do like it, but I do feel like I'm gonna want to like watch another show in conjunction with that show that may be a little bit lighter. For me, when it comes to shows like that, I'm not really I don't really have a problem with the content being like more on like the heavy side. Are these like the daiquiri mixes? How cute. But I'm not always in the mood when I watch shows for like that heavy type aspect to it. Now, I don't have a problem bouncing around from show to show. I watch 2 episodes of one show and then I'll go and watch a different show. I kind of want to go in here, but then I kind of don't. I kind of think like I should pan in here just to see. This little market is so cute. For me, having shows that are not so heavy, meshed in with shows that have a little bit more of a heavier context, I feel like that it balances out for me. So it gives me time to get like a little bit of relief from a lot of the drama that's going on. The premise of so far that I'm noticing from the show, Your Honor, it's thick. And it's heavy, and it's one of those things where it's just like things have to be unfair in order for you to have favor. And I know there's a saying that says favor's not fair, and that's very, very true. And I feel like this show really like embodies that. And so it's one of those things where it's like you have to be able to sit with the injustices and be like, okay, it's not right, but I understand why they're doing it, but it's still not right. And so that part about it for me is just a little heavier than I was expecting. I don't know what I expected. They never talked about anything about the shows, which is what I really, really loved when I was looking at the TikTok thread, is that nobody was really giving you insight into the shows. They were just like, it's a good show, you should watch it. I do feel like that if any type of information was given into like the premise of what the show Your Honor was about, I think it kind of would have just made the show not as appealing to watch, because to figure out what it was going to be about, I feel like that was a little bit more it pulled me into wanting to continue to watch the show more than if I would have just known like, okay, I already know that this is something that's gonna happen. I love this little like little grill place, and so for me, I'm really enjoying it. But man, shit's heavy. Like, shit's heavy. The show really good. Great actors. I'm lagging a little bit, my bad, y'all. Good show, great actors. Everything makes sense, but it's heavy. It's heavy for me. Like I said, there'll probably be a lot of people that will watch the show and it may not feel as heavy to them as it does to me. Hoping so, because I really feel like I need to have a show that I can kind of buffer it with. Frankie and Grace would have been like a good show. I loved Frankie and Grace. I sometimes go back and watch a couple episodes that was on Netflix. That was a very light show in my opinion. I really did like Frankie and Grace. But till then, I have to find something to kind of put in between. I don't know what that says about me, that I can't like sit and watch a show that's like heavy like that through and through. It does something to me. I really have to be in the mood to watch shows that are heavy like that. Otherwise, it's gonna make me feel some type of way. It's gonna make me feel some type of way, and I don't want that type of feeling. But the way that they have everything just like written out, I feel like it's such a realistic thing where it's like, this is something that very well could happen. That is what really makes a show like interesting, when you can look at it and say, you know what, I really truly can see things like this happening in real life, and this would be how things would be played out. So, you know, that's one of the things that I really did like about it. When I tell y'all, this land is huge. They also have a residential space, and so because of that, I'm not wanting to like venture around much, because I don't want to accidentally like get into any spaces that we shouldn't be in, because it's a lot of residences on this land. And being quite honest, if we were to tour around like the whole of this land, when I panned out, it was a lot. Unless the majority of them are residences, this would be one of those videos that would be just like 3-4 parts, and I don't want that. Y'all know how I feel about having to do like multi-parts. If I have to, I have to. Really don't like going beyond 2, because beyond 2 really made me feel some type of way, and so I want to do that. But this land is like really big, and so I am like really trying to get into things. I'm getting more into like going back to watching movies. I like horror movies. It's just something about them. You know, I'll watch all different types of movies, but when I really like want to just like watch a movie, horror is going to be my go-to. Cause it's that what's the name of this game? This was a game that we had saw in a different land, and I couldn't remember what the name of this game. Greedy. Yeah, this is Greedy. This is like a very popular game in Second Life. I'm not sure if many people play it now. The fact that they have it out here, there are people that do play it, but this is like a very popular game, or was a very popular game in within Second Life, and it's fun. It's really fun. You can play by yourself and it's fun. You play with somebody else and it's fun. A nice little group makes it even more fun. So so I'm on the lookout now. There is a movie that's coming out called Together. I can't wait to come out. I'm gonna go see it. It looks like it's gonna be really good. And so love a good horror movie. But it's so funny because it's like I'll watch a horror movie, but like a deep realistic, like more realistic type movie, I don't be wanting to watch. I'm like, this is too realistic. But a horror movie where I'm like, yeah, this is very far-fetched, but I like the creepiness of it, those movies I could sit and just watch and I'll be good to go. But anything that I feel like has more of like a realistic aspect to it, that is also like it's realistic in the heaviness of it and the realism of like this could really happen, those are the movies that I'm like, I need a buffer, I need something to go in between it. And I feel like that does say something about me, where it's just like I'm cool with the unrealistic scary, but when it comes to things that are more realistic, I feel like just the fact that it makes me want wonder, and it makes me think about like what life would be like if this was something that was really going on. That's something that bothers me beyond just like understanding, and perhaps that's something that I should be looking into. I don't know, but it's definitely something that I always pay attention to. And I notice, y'all see me lagging. I'm convinced that because it's like so much mesh going on here, the settings have to be just like a little bit tweaked in order to just like see everything correctly. It's been very good. My experience yesterday, horrible. When I tell y'all, I did the video and I watched it back and I said no, absolutely not. We got to go back to the drawing board and do it again. Look how cute this is. But yeah, so do I anticipate watching more shows on Netflix? Absolutely. Are they going to be binge worthy? We're going to cross our fingers and hope.